What's going on, guys? Picsoleated here, back at it again with another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a smorgasbord of releases, if you will. First we'll be looking at the 747 warehouse releases, then we'll be looking at the all-star exclusive releases this weekend. We all know the infamous 747 warehouse event in LA is coming up. If you haven't heard about it, Adidas is hosting a sneaker event in LA at 747 Warehouse Street, hence the name 747 Warehouse, during February 16th and 17th, aka All-Star Weekend, where they're hosting a variety of activities like a rapper basketball game and big name artists like Playboy Farty, Lil Uzi Skirt, Pusha T, Dutch Montana, and more will be performing. But most importantly, what the sneakerheads and hype skeets are most excited for is that Adidas is dropping plenty of heat in the building. Some of it not exclusive, some of it very exclusive, like so exclusive we might only see them at this event. If you managed to cop tickets to the event, congratulations to you. If you cop tickets and don't live in LA but managed to make it out there just for this, congrats even more so. I was able to cop tickets but didn't have the luxury to make it out on time. I had the chance to cop tickets but didn't have the luxury to make it out on time, so who knows whether it would have even been worth my time anyway, since most if not all these sneakers are going to be given out via raffle anyway, so there's a heavy chance many will attend and leave with no sneakers at all, so you have to be there for more than just the kicks. With that being said, before we get started, feel free to like or subscribe to the channel anytime during the video if you took anything from it. As a growing channel, it helps me out a lot and allows me to continue making quality content for you guys. Now let's get into the sneakers. First on the list is the Yeezy 500 Blush. Now the rest of the sneakers I mentioned are pretty much confirmed to be releasing at this event, like it's set in stone, written in paper, posted on the blogs, etc. But this one is largely still a rumor. Don't get me wrong, it seems completely in character for Adidas and any sneaker company to have a large surprise release at huge events like this. It only seems right, so I'm not doubting it's going to happen. In fact, the complete opposite. I'm pretty confident it's going to happen. Let's just say if I was a betting man, I'd bet some money that some sneaker is going to surprise release at this event. Will it be the Yeezy 500 Blush? I'm not really sure, but it might be. Onto the shoe. I don't think it's Kanye's strongest design with the Adidas brand, but I appreciate its aesthetic. It's very reminiscent of the Kobe's that came out when Kobe was with Adidas, but a low top version of those. They have the chunky dad shoe aesthetic that seems to be the trend these days, but without being too over the top. Like, it's curved just enough to be reasonable and not obnoxious, as per the Balenciaga Triple S. Overall, even without boost, I really like these. The bumpy sole with adiprene and the suede patches on the upper give it a very old school vibe, but the moderate amount of chunk gives it a bit of edge. Very well executed. Good job on that, Kanye. Will these be hype or dead? Well, just based off the fact that they have Kanye's goodwill and it's a relatively new silhouette, I'm sure people are tired of the 350s for now. I will say that these are definitely hype. I would prefer the gray colorway that has made the runs over these, but these are definitely hype. Hopefully they have plenty of stock and there's a re-release so I can get my hands on a pair for a good price. Now I realize there are plenty of shoes to go through, so I'm going to try to keep the rest of it as brief as possible while still giving you the details. We have the Adidas Futurecraft 2.0. Releasing in this all-white colorway. We already know the OG Futurecrafts with the black uppers have been made in severely limited quantities, and I don't expect this to be any different. If you are lucky to win a pair, retail is $300 US, which granted is a little hefty, but for a sneaker that has resold for $3 to $4K in the past, that's $1 out of the wallet. No question, these are definitely hype. Next on the list is the one shoe that I'm unexpectedly excited for. It's the Bape X Adidas Dame 4. I've never been keen on any of the Adidas Dame sneakers. To be honest, I wasn't even keen on this one, partially because I rarely play ball, if at all, anymore, but these really piqued my interest. I'm not huge enough on Bape that I'm interested in all of their sneaker drops, but this one really caught my eye. Having those bomber shark teeth going through the midsole really makes the shoe in this case. The pair that's releasing at the event is the red camo pair, which is the friends and family pair, and therefore will be extremely exclusive and hard to get. For us regular folk, the green camo pair is releasing at several more stockists, not limited to this event, and in my opinion those ones do look better and I really do hope to get them. Let's pray I hit a raffle or something. These are almost the definition of hype. Next up on the list is the Adidas Crazy BYW X. BYW standing for Boost You Wear, and I'm not sure what the X stands for. I think it's the intersection between comfort and performance, but if you've heard of this shoe, the initial shoe was considered a lifestyle shoe because there wasn't much support to it and it just had a casual fit. I think these might be the basketball performance version of the shoe because look at the midfoot and forefoot portion of the midsole. It doesn't look like it's made of boost, and the upper seems to be more form-fitting while the ankle opening looks like a firm sock collar. I'm just excited for the BYW in general, but I don't know about these ones. They're looking pretty dead to me. Don't get me wrong, they look great, but my spidey senses tell me these are dead. Next, we have the initial iteration of the shoe. It's the Adidas Crazy BYW Level 1. These are the lifestyle version of the previous shoe I just mentioned. Now, some places have already released these, and they're definitely something people are excited about. Heck, I'm still excited to try them out. So there's that. They retail for $200 US and are clearly not exclusive to this event, but for now, I think they're hype. Up next, we have yet another iteration. This one's a more premium version. It's the Adidas Y3 BYW Harden. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely my favorite out of the bunch. It has the BYW BYW modular boost midsole with the separate boost pods making up the midsole. But on top of that, it has this Jason's mask looking black cage covering a portion of it traveling to the upper, and the lacing just looks better to me. But that $450 retail price tag, as much as I love these, I haven't seen many Adidas Y3s sell out lately, and these don't seem to be the exception to me. I mean, I can see them selling well, but at that price point, which isn't anything new from Y3, these definitely aren't hype for that reason. I'm calling these dead. Up next, we have the Adidas Harden Volume 2 in this very South Beach color palette look. It's got some cool designs around the ankle collar, but overall these are dead. Let's move on. Next up, one of my favorite Boost silhouettes. It's the Ultra Boost Mid in this Parley edition. As we're all aware, Parley or Parley is a company that partnered with Adidas to make shoes recycled from ocean plastic. I think what they're doing is great. I think this shoe is beautiful. They're retailing for $250, which I think is still pushing it a little. I think it'll have a much larger release after the event, but for now, I think they're hype. On to the next. This is hands down my favorite new Adidas silhouette, so much so that I actually forgot that I didn't put them in my top sneaker purchases of 2017, and I regretted it so much that I was going to make a single video just to bring attention to it. These shoes are legendary to me, the Alexander Wang x Adidas B-Ball, and this new colorway is just fire. With a mix of gray leather panels and black everything else, this instant classic shoe meshes with a beautiful colorway. These are hype hands down. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how they're gonna sell. They're just hype. I hope Adidas continues to make dope and sexy colorways of this sneaker. Up next, we have the Adidas EQT BBW. Up next, we have the Adidas EQT BB ADV. These are definitely not exclusive to this event and have already released. I don't know if this particular colorway is something special. I've seen them in Adidas stores and Foot Locker, so if you want them, you can get them now. I was never a fan of them and still am not. Not because they're not hype, but I just don't see any need for them. These are dead. Next, we have the Adidas Speed Factory AM4 London and AM4 Paris. Doesn't the name sound so futuristic? Like these were made in the same factory as the Terminator or something. I put these two together because they're pretty similar. Both these shoes have had fairly limited releases in their respective cities of Paris and London, and I don't expect this to be any less limited. I'm not wowed by them visually in any regard, but I do think they look good. Regardless, their limitedness, is that a word? And uniqueness will make them extremely hype. They retail for $220 and they're without a doubt hype. And finally, we have the Adidas Speed Factory AM4 LA. Now, this is similar to the last two shoes in tech and design, but the colorway is just so god awful that I had to separate it from the two. That orange and yellow, I don't know what it's supposed to represent, but it looks like it's representing a wildfire to me, which doesn't seem like that should be the right thing to represent on a signature LA shoe. Regardless, no matter how much I don't like the shoe, the same principles apply. It's super limited. It was created at Adidas Speed Factory in Germany and is probably only going to release in LA, so these are going to be reluctantly hype. Now that we're done with that, we're moving on to the Nike side of All-Star Weekend releases. We're going to be focusing particularly on the shoes shown in this image right here, so let's get started. First, we have this camo colorway basketball sneaker. It's a brand new silhouette and it's the Kobe Pro X Undefeated collab. It has hints of previous Kobe sneakers, for example the midsole, mixed with an all-new silhouette. If you're a fan of Kobe, I think these are almost impossible to say no to. The canvas panels that make the upper with the undefeated camo look so clean with that all-white midsole that calls back to previous Kobe models. And if you're a more plain Jane kind of person, these are also releasing in a white colorway with a gum midsole. I think both will sell well, but the undefeated camo Kobe Pro will sell out and is insanely hype. Next on the list is the Nike X Kith LeBron 15s. What can I say about this collab that hasn't been said already? Nike and Kith came together to make the LeBron 15s a monumental shoe in LeBron's sneaker lineup. This is the second part of that collection. This collection consists of the LeBron 15 in white with gold, green, red floral embroidery. There's an all-black pair with the same embroidery in all black and an all-white pair as well. These are beautiful. I really love the way they look. I don't know if I'll be able to get any of them. They're going to sell out immediately and are ridiculously hype. Next, we have the KD10 All-Star. I haven't worn ball shoes in a minute, so I couldn't tell you how these feel or how they perform, but I can tell you one thing, these are 100% dead. Moving on. Up next, we have the Nike Kyrie 4 All-Star. This silhouette in general has actually got quite a bit of traction since its release earlier this year. I can't remember when it was, and I gotta say I like the design too. This colorway in particular though is dead. Next, we have the Nike PG2 All-Star. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this colorway, and the more I see off-feet pics of the PG2s, the uglier they look. The one thing I did notice though is that they actually look great on feet, and those PlayStation PG2s go hard as fuck. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get them, and although I think the PG2 model looks great on foot, my preference for them isn't going to make these any more popular. these are sadly dead. I'm just gonna bunch these next few together since they're all part of the same theme. Next up, we have several Nike shoes that are part of the Nike 90-10 pack. The general concept behind this pack is that Nike handles 90% of the design of the shoe, and you get to do whatever you want with the rest of the 10%. The shoes in this pack are the Air Force 1 Low, the Nike Vandal, the Special Field Air Force 1 High, the classic Huarache, and the Nike Air More Money. Now you're looking at the shoes and wondering, great, it looks like a canvas. How do I customize the 10%? Fear not, Nike's got you covered. Each pair will come with accompanying pins, stencil sheets, and patches with fabric adhesives for you to play around with. I think this whole concept is hype. I don't think all the shoes in this pack are hype, but I think the shoes that are hype are definitely the Air Force 1 and the Huarache, maybe even the Vandal. For all I know, they could all be hype. This is a really tough one just because the concept is so dope, and it plays off previous concepts of the Travis Air Force 1s where you can replace the swooshes and whatnot. But those are my 3 choices from all 5 that I selected to be hype. Next on the list are the Nike X RT Air Force 1 High Minotaurs. I'll be honest with you guys, I have no idea what's so special about these sneakers or what the story or concept behind them is. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. They kind of look like a mix of Air Force 1s and Bapestas to me, with the star underlaying over the swoosh. There seems to be something on the toe box, but I'm not sure what it is. Just based off the fact that I don't know anything about these shoes, I'm going to say they're dead. Feel free to tell me otherwise in the comments. Next up, we have the Nike Air Zoom Generation. Of course, this is LeBron's first shoe in the wheat colorway. To be honest, I think Nike ran the wheat train to the ground last year. I think they did 5 or 6 shoes at once at some point. At the same time, I know people are going to want LeBron's first shoe, even though they did retro it last year as well in Vachetta Tan. I think these will sell, but I don't think they'll be too hype. If you really want them, I feel like you should be able to get them as long as you're following the release. These are not hype. And finally, to top the list off, we have the Nike Foamposite Alternate Galaxy. I think most of you will agree with the notion that nobody wears foams anymore. I personally never liked foams even since I was a youngin'. Just look at them, it never made sense to me. Look at them now, it still doesn't make sense to me. I get the whole it doesn't crease when you wear it, but I'm not looking to wear those hideous beasts on my feet just because I don't have to worry about creasing. With that being said though, I will say I did like the Northern Lights foams that released during Toronto All-Star Weekend in 2016. I probably still wouldn't wear them, and despite the fact that foams are pretty much dead now, these shoes are going for a hell of a lot of money in the aftermarket. These are surprisingly hype. For what reason, I have no idea. I thought the world collectively came to a consensus that foams are whack. Some things will always be a mystery. Anyways, that's the end of the video. If you took anything from it, please hit that like or sub. Which shoes are you most excited for this All-Star Weekend? Let me know in the comment section below. Catch you later. Picsoleated is ballin' out.